Hello, this is a 2-week check-in for my identity shift hypnosis. So I meant to do a check-in every week. Things have been a little bit crazy though. So let's see. I started listening to it. Yes, I counted right before I started the video, and it's been exactly 14 days. And in that time, I have had a lot shifting. Um, One of my goals was relative to smoking and wanting to smoke less and just have that be like a natural shift that it's not something I'm like willpower efforting forcefully through. And I am pleased to say that it's been that way. It's let's see, I don't remember. It wasn't like immediately. I think I was still smoking for like a few days after I started it. I would say maybe after like a week, then I kind of got to a place where I naturally was like, oh, I don't think I really feel like it anymore. I just didn't really like think of it. And then that's if you smoke a lot, you know that like that's not usual. You usually have the cravings or have the like desire or thought about it. So yeah, it was really cool to just be like, oh yeah, like I didn't really think about it. And then my boyfriend still smokes like every once in a while. And it's like that's I like right, I can see him and it's not like, oh my God, like can I have some? Oh, I'm resisting. It wasn't like that. It's just like, okay, one thing I will say with that is that this isn't my first time trying to cut back, stop smoking, and specifically cannabis, I'm referring to here. And something that has really helped me when I first am kind of in that place where my body doesn't want to like have the effects of normal smoking, if you know what I mean. But like my ego still is kind of like craving it. That was a great face. And so there was a couple of days, I think it was like only 1 or 2 days where I actually had a little CBD. I don't have it with me, but it's just like a little CBD only vape that I had gotten specifically for when I have been in times where I'm trying to cut back or quit. And it helps. It really helps. So I think this time I really only had like that for 1 or 2 days and didn't really use that much of it. But there was a couple times where it was like, oh, I'm feeling anxious or something where that really came in handy. And then aside from that specific goal, just overall with my identity, I don't even know how to explain. Let me just I've I'm forgetting how much I shared in the first video, but that's okay. It can be a recap. I've been going through an identity shift for over a year now, I would say. I have kind of been feeling this extra layer kind of come up again. It was kind of like identity shift and then like, okay, some stabilizing. And then now it's a new layer of like, oh, okay, like things are shifting. I wrote my book. And I think I know one thing that was really a big thing for me in writing my book was my name. And like, what name do I want to use? And I went with Monica Goldsoul, my brand name. It just, I don't know. My last name has never, let me retry that. Now that I am really sharing more of my truth and coming into my own and just really, yeah, coming into my own, it didn't feel right to be going by my last name. Just intuitively in my body, it was like, no, that doesn't feel right. And so I just kind of allowed, this was, I don't know, year, however long ago, I kind of just allowed like, okay, whatever name wants to come is gonna come, and this Monica Gold Soul really just felt right. Like my artwork and my transforming shadows into gold, and like I don't know, it just came to me and felt right. There was this part of me that was like, oh no, like judging myself for it, and that's like you people are gonna think you're trying to be this like crazy spiritual person or whatever. And I'm just like, anyway, so I've gone through so much to get to this place, right? It's not just like, oh yeah, okay, I decided, here I am. It's like, you shift your beliefs and you shift your habits and you shift your then that kind of then shifts your emotions and your life ultimately. So yeah, basically with this newest kind of layer to all of this, I had kind of, it was, let's see, it was only a few, 3, 4, 5 days ago, maybe. So yeah, that, wow. So I guess after like a week of listening to the hypnosis that I made, I had this really kind of sudden aha realization moment where I I don't know even how, I just was like, "Oh my God," like out of nowhere I just saw it, that I have been trying to show up in a really like specific way that I thought that I had to show up. Unconsciously have been thinking I had to show up, right? When we take these beliefs on from like the different coaches that I've had in the past who think that it should be done a certain way, and then I have taken that on and I didn't even realize that was the belief that I had. Or I see other people holding themselves to that standard, and then I think, oh gosh, that's what's right. That's what I need to do to show up a certain way and be taken seriously and really be able to succeed in helping people in the mission and the work that I want to do. And I just totally had this crack of like, oh my God, I have been, this has not been me. This is not how I ultimately like really want to show up. I was just in a meeting on the mastermind I'm in, and I was sharing that that I like before this week I have so like in my notes on my phone, it's crazy. I have so many ideas of things. It's like, oh, I want to share that. Oh, I want to share this thing. I was like, okay, let me make a note of it and write it down and then think about how I want to share this so that it comes across in the way I mean it and it lands how I want it to, and I say it in the just the right way so that I'm not kind of rambling or stopping to think or how I'm showing up now, right? Like I just had this thought that like if I showed up that way it wouldn't be taken seriously. And I think, when I first started my like healing journey, I knew that I needed to spend a lot of years just working on my own healing before I was ready for this mission work. But I've always known that this is like my mission calling work ever since I was little. It that's another story, but hmm, I paused the video a couple of times because I am losing my train of thought right in the middle of a sentence. And I decided I should start the video again and just show that, because this is part of it. I think my nervous system, my belief system, I felt so much pressure to show up and do it right. And I have also been attacked and abandoned for sharing my truth, for being my authentic self and having the experiences that I've had. And I know that my system is recalibrating. And I'm just allowing myself to show up imperfectly right now. Part of this has also been for the last year, I was sharing on my Instagram some posts about this, that for the last like year or so, I've really been reflecting on the fact that I am a very intuitive, highly sensitive, empathic woman, and also believe that I am on the spectrum of autism. And it's challenging to kind of differentiate. And so, with realizing all of this about me, I have done so many self assessments, and I relate. I'm like 100% like yes to like most of all of the questions. And so it's like, oh, okay, like I think that I'm probably on the spectrum. And I also am not so worried about having some sort of an official diagnosis, because really these things are just ways for me to kind of know how I can best support myself. And there's so much overlap with the experiences and symptoms of highly sensitive, empathic, intuitive women and autistic experiences. So it has been an interesting process, but I had the realization that, okay, like I took another self-assessment and I was like, I think that I, whether it's trauma or spectrum, whatever, who cares? This is helping me see, oh, I have been masking for my own safety, for my own protection, right? I have been abandoned and attacked for my truth and for being who I am. I wasn't supposed to be who I am. I was supposed to be what everyone else wanted me to be and how I was supposed to be. And so, really unwinding, oh, yeah, I've always felt different. And I unconsciously, just ever since I was born, have tried to learn how to be human by watching other humans. And when I'm out at social things, like, it's this awkward thing where I'm like watching myself try to be human. I'm like, okay, that relates. And it's just helping me see that this crack, ego death, all of these things in this crack of, oh, I have been showing up in this certain way that I felt like I had to. And now, in the last couple days, I am just going, nope, I'm going to show up however that lands. And right now, maybe it's a little messy. Maybe it'll kind of, I'll refine. I know I'll refine as I go, whether or not it stays messy or not. Um, but yeah, I just had this huge realization, and it's been it it took me a couple of days of just sitting with it and processing it and all of that, before I felt like I was able to share. So yeah, this has been a really interesting process. It's been really powerful, and there's something really powerful about this hypnosis and this time in my life. I am so excited that even though it's been kind of challenging right now, I'm so excited that I had this realization before moving into the new year, because that, right? My brain, our brains just love that kind of reset of things. And that's what it feels like. So I'm really excited to be moving into 2026 being more raw, more authentic. I was sharing posts on my Instagram like the last few days, and I was like on the couch on my period in so much pain. And like I had just washed my hair, so my hair was like all cray cray. And I was like, got this urge, like, oh, I want to share this thing. And then I kind of felt that old voice, like, no, you're on the couch and people won't know why. They'll think you're just being lazy and your hair looks crazy. And then I was like, okay, so that's actually like the old thing that we're not doing that anymore. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. And I'm going to soothe that and pay attention to that. But I'm doing something different now. And it's safe to be seen. People, I'm sure I'll get hate comments and all sorts of stuff. And That's fine. They're not for me. They don't get it. That's fine. The people who are for me, the people who do get it, who my work is for, I want to connect authentically. And I want to not only like be seen for my own self, but also I know how impactful it's been on my own journey watching other women when, right, years ago when I was still keeping myself small, even smaller than this realization now, seeing other women taking up that space and growing into and going through this, it was triggering at times, but I knew that it was triggering because it was what I wanted. I knew that it was inspiring me and activating me to know that that was possible for me. So I hope that I can also be inspiring for other people in that way. The first guy who ran I'm going to butcher the details of this, but it's something about the mile and the fastest, the 4-minute mile or something. The Before the first guy did it, nobody thought it was possible. And then the first guy did it, and then a bunch of other people were able to do it because they knew it was possible because they saw the proof. So, yeah, it's been a really cool experience of reflecting on my own, reflecting from, other people, and really supporting myself, not only in creating this hypnosis for myself, but just through all of the process of it. So thank you so much. Sending you so much love. I will make another video, maybe next week, maybe just kind of in 2 weeks when it's actually at like more of a month mark. Generally, with hypnosis and subconscious reprogramming work like that, you want to be doing it at least, they say, like 21 days, at least like a month-ish, to really have that repetition for your subconscious brain to really start like rewiring those things. So, stay tuned.